Greetings from NeuronThemes. Coherence is an important aspect when creating a website. Even the most complex ones should breathe the same design and layout throughout multiple layers of pages. To make matters easier for the sake of consistency, there's Global Settings, which you can set by default and will be spread on all pages, saving you much time and effort to apply each individually. The best thing is that you can switch between global and local settings within the same page while working on your website, designing it and customizing it live. Let's first take a look at global settings. As you're working on your page design, you can set your global guidelines to help you through the entire process. Click on the hamburger menu on the left corner of the panel and locate Site Settings. You will see that the Global Settings window will emerge. It is divided into 3 categories, with first being Design System. Here you have the global colors and global fonts. In the first tab, we have the global colors. 4 of the colors will be set by default, and you can add the rest easily by clicking on this Add Color button here. You can of course edit and change the default colors as well as rename them. The same principle applies to global fonts as well. Here we have a list of global typography style, which you can edit and add new ones as per your needs. Let's edit an element and assign them these 2 global settings. We'll first set the color. If you click on this globe icon here and select a color from the options available, the element will be assigned with global settings. Let's try the same trick with typography as well. Sometimes it is of latent essence to make some pages be conspicuous, though always keeping consistency in mind, but at the same time straying away from the mundane style. Now we'll do the same for some other elements to really showcase the best of this feature. Fantastic! Now, if you go back to Site Settings, let's say we want to change this color and assign a different one. See how the changes are applied instantly on all elements we assigned the global styles. This will give you all the flexibility where you can craft and design your entire website in one place without having to switch from one page to another or use any line of code, since we have accumulated all the tools necessary and nested them in one panel. We've made a dedicated video on global fonts and colors, explaining everything there is to know about these settings. Now move on to Theme Style. From here, you will be able to set the default style for the main components of your website, like typography, buttons, images, and form fields. These are set as fallback options for when no custom styling is set to these elements. Let's try this button. We'll delete its styling and set one from the Theme Style panel. You can set the typography, the text color, as well as the background color. You can also add a border, configure the width, as well as the padding. Give it a touch of your magic. And see, this is our default button style. Now, whenever you drag a button element onto the page, this will be the primary design of the element. You can of course further customize them as per your likings. The same will be applied for images as well as form fields. Next on, we have settings. From this window, first you have site identity, where you can set the site's name, description, as well as the site's logo or fav icon. You can set a default background color, choose one from classic or gradient one, and work your design. There is also the option to set the background for mobiles as well. On the Layout tab, we have the settings concerning the layout of your website, like the content width, widget space, page title selector, and more. You can also set the mobile breakpoints from here. Let's move on into the Lightbox tab. You can switch the option on to show the lightbox when clicking on an image, and down here you have all the settings to configure the design and functionality of the lightbox. This is especially useful for photography websites. And for all of those of you who are good with codes and CSS, this tab's for you. You can add global custom CSS to your website from here and will be applied universally on your website. If you click on Additional Settings, this will take you to the WordPress backend screen, and in order to have your design system be attributed on your website, make sure you tick the boxes on Disable Default Colors and Disable Default Fonts. Save the changes and you're ready to go. This is all on global settings. You can easily switch from global settings to local settings and assign them all from one interface so that your working process will be seamless and uninterrupted, and at the same time, you will be effective and productive. Let's update the global settings as we're done adjusting them. To open the local settings, click on this cog icon here at the bottom toolbar. Note that these settings are only applied to the page you're currently working on. You can set the title of the page, as well as decide on its status, whether you want it to be a draft, pending review, private, or published. You can set a featured image for this specific page, hide the title, or choose the page layout if you want to work on a clean canvas. From the Style tab, you can choose a background color or add padding to the page. And from the Advanced tab, you can set custom CSS applied to this page only. First and foremost, global settings are shared between all instances, in this case, all pages, while local settings are specific to one instance, in this case, one page. Local settings override the global ones, thus providing you with high flexibility in the design area. One local adjustment will not affect other global settings. It is only focused on that particular page. This concludes our video. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more guides and tutorials. Thank you for watching.